Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of the OG Wisdom Podcast. Let me say this right now. Easy opportunity ain't meant to be handled with street rules. All right, we're going to smooth that out right now. Because when you mix business with ego and pressure with power, you don't just lose deals, you lose your freedom. Today, we break it down to Pooh, Shiesty, and Gucci Mane situation. This not for gossip, this is for game. It's what happens when success meets the wrong mindset. You're tuned into the OG Wisdom Podcast. Let's get into it. Now, some people may have heard of Pooh Shiesty, some people may have not. Some people may have heard of Gucci Mane, some people may have not. But these are two rappers who pretty much got a history together about 5 years or so. Gucci Mane, I believe it was almost 6 years now. Gucci Mane signed Pooh Shiesty to his record label 1017. As time went on, they made some dope moves. They did a lot of music together. But then somewhere along the way, Pooh Shiesty gets jammed up. He gets incarcerated. He do a little time. But while Pooh Shiesty had his record deal with Gucci Mane also signed some of Pooh Shiesty's people. One of them, unfortunately, by the name of Scar, had transitioned due to an overdose. That's why we discourage excessive narcotics use around here. But he passed away. The family's a little upset. And somewhere along the line, Pooh Shiesty got upset about his deal. Now, whether it's about the passing of his peoples or if it's really about the deal that he was signed into, it remains to be seen because all of this is new and all of this is unfolding. But as time went on, there's reports that Pooh Shiesty was linking up with Yo Gotti, who allegedly got a situation with Gucci Mane where them two not getting along. But I don't want to get too deep into that. Let me bring my co-host in here, C Gutter. C Gutter, where you at? You ready? Give me the thumbs up, bro. Peace, bro. What's the word?
What's good, bro?
I can't call it. I can't call it. Just giving the people a little background of the Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane situation, from back in 2020 when he first signed, then him getting caught up, jammed up. And some people may know Pooh Shiesty name for what they call the little mask that the youngins wear. They call it the Pooh Shiesties.
Yeah.
You know, but I think all of this is crazy because I don't know if you've been following the case, Gutter, but then there's allegations of rats in the midst. And, later we'll talk about who that is. And of course, law enforcement was there. So it's a lot going on. Shout out
Um,
to our sister Brooke.
from from what I gathered, he still had the ankle monitor on.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
So that's idiot of the century work.
Shout out to our dude New York.
Yo, what's good?
Yeah, I think that's real crazy, right? So for those who don't know, Pooh Shiesty was locked in the deal. Well, I won't say locked in because you get what you negotiate in any business situation. Pooh Shiesty was in the deal with Gucci Mane's label and he wanted out. He realized that he was worth a lot more money or whatever the case may be. But allegedly, Pooh Shiesty and his team kidnapped Gucci Mane, made him sign him out the contract, and as Gutter would call it, they decided to be voluntary repos. Is that what it is, Gutter? Voluntary repos?
Oh, no, unlawful repossession.
Unlawful repossession, yeah.
Yeah.
They decided to repo some things up off Gucci Mane. And now at least these are the allegations because Gucci Mane went on Instagram and said, yeah, all this is alleged. Gucci Mane went on Instagram and said, he ain't speak to nobody, he ain't speaking to nobody. None of this stuff really happened. At least that's what Gucci Mane say. Gutter, what's your take on all of it?
Everything is alleged, so I can't. But I know if it's true, yeah. Like I said, idiot of the century.
Yeah.
You can't get dumber than that. Just coming home from the feds. and you
Right.
on
With an ankle monitor on.
that's what I'm saying. Like if that part is like I can and that's what I'm saying. I can understand your angst because you feel you in a bad deal, boo. Y'all been going back and forth or whatever, but you could have been way more strategic than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I would understand somebody angst you about getting out of deal or whatever. I don't know the particulars. So I don't know if he getting if Gucci Man, then it's something stuff is supposedly Gucci had life insurance on his artist, so his cousin was signed to Gucci too, and it's a
Right.
lot of stuff. I like stuff I have no idea because I'm not investigating none of this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of this stuff came across my timeline, so I checked it out, right, Gutter? And the dude Scar's family was mad because Gucci Mane gave $10,000 towards the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yo, the sister, at least from what I saw, she was like, my brother's worth more than that. So Gucci Mane gave $10,000 and he wanted the jewelry back, the jewelry that he bought for the artist. And the family's like, yo, he ain't getting no jewelry back, and he only gave 10 bands.
Wanted the jury back.
For
That's
me,
it.
for me, right, because
That's ill though.
his position is like, yo, y'all not my artists, and y'all not gonna be running around because he had the he bought on the chain for the label. And he was like, that was for his artist, the family running around, allegedly taking pictures, high siding with it, and he wanted his jewelry back. Now, what agreement he had with the artist about the jewelry, that I don't know.
That's ill though. Taking the jury back and the 10 bands.
Well, he gave them 10 bands. He gave them 10 bands
That's
to
ill. But so the 10 bands was nothing like yo, bro. I ain't trying to make light of the situation, but yo, so you saying I would give you the 10 bands, but I want that jury back. The jury definitely has to cost more than 10 bands.
Right.
So I basically gave you like I basically ain't gave you nothing.
Well, I don't know if they gave the jewelry back. But my thing is, why are they mad about the 10 bands? I think, one thing I realized, right, Gutter?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know about none of this, but allegedly he had the life insurance on cars. And I'm saying, so once that was revealed to them, they fell away. And I'm saying you only gave us 10 bands, but you probably had a $5 million loss life insurance on. Yeah. So if in my opinion, I would assume the family would be mad about that. You know what I'm saying? Upset, damn, you got all of that, and you know what I'm saying? This is my son, my brother, or whatever. And all you give, you know what I'm saying, to his loved ones, because they part of his life too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All you give to the family is for his burial was 10,000.
But then the question becomes, whose responsibility is it? Is it Gucci Mane's responsibility to make sure this man gets buried, or is it the man and his family? I mean, I transitioned. I don't expect my job to pay for my funeral. They gave me opportunities to have insurance and put things in place. God forbid, I transition. So it's, you know what I mean? Because now you think, when dudes are living a certain lifestyle, you and I are from that lifestyle. Do you really expect other people to pay for your funeral? And I think that's the thing. They looking at Gucci Mane's pockets and not realizing he put dude an opportunity to stack his own bread. You know what I mean? I put you an opportunity to make money. So if you out here getting high, taking penitentiary chances, and this of course, this is not to cast no shadow on the brother who transitioned. Rest in peace. But this goes for everybody because we see this a lot. If
No,
somebody fall on hard times, they get mad at the person with the money.
That's definitely like people got to understand. That's how I be bugging. Like when people be knowing their kids was like really
outside,
yeah, and you try to paint them as not that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on, like we have to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
And we got to be honest with our, all right, my son, I love him. You know what I'm saying? Or my daughter, I love him or her, but they went out and decided to do things that I didn't, unless, you know, the mother brought them up like that.
Yeah.
Then I could see you feeling like that because you in that life. So you outside of the realms of reality, if you being honest. Because if you expecting any sympathy from people and you was out there, then you raise your kids to be out there, you're bugging.
Bugging all the way out. And that's what's crazy. So some people saying that with this Pooh Shiesty thing, part of this could be behind that because I think the artist Scar is supposedly
It's his cousin.
his cousin, Pooh Shiesty cousin. But I want to play the news clip real quick, Gutter, and we could come back and chop it up about the news clip a little bit more. For those who is unfamiliar with it, here we go. Let me turn this volume up.
Gucci Mane have been arrested. 9 suspects involved in the robbery and kidnapping of rapper Gucci Mane have been arrested. Officials say the alleged ringleader behind the attack was rapper Pooh Shiesty. Our Preseda Olguin has been on top of this story and has the latest.
Aside from learning that the 9th and final suspect has been arrested, we've been able to obtain video which shows the FBI at Pooh Shiesty's home the day he was arrested. Take a look at that video. This happened in Memphis. Federal authorities say Shiesty was the ringleader behind the attack on Gucci Mane here in Dallas. That happened back in January at a music studio located off Dallas Parkway. The DOJ says Gucci Mane and 2 others were allegedly kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint. They say 9 people were involved, including Pooh Shiesty's father and Big 30. For background, Pooh Shiesty signed on to Gucci Mane's record label back in 2020. And according to the DOJ, Pooh Shiesty is the one who set up the meeting to discuss his recording contract.
As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items.
Pooh Shiesty was released from federal prison in October and was placed on home confinement for a previous conviction, meaning that it's likely he was wearing an ankle monitor at the time of the crime. Officials say all 9 suspects will be transported here to North Texas, where they will face their crimes. Now, if convicted, each suspect can face life in prison. For now, reporting in Dallas, Parental, CBS.
Yo. Join this wild.
Elbow. I'm looking at it.
They can face life.
That's if they blow trial. But
right.
Like, it depends on how many felonies he got. That elbow is definitely a possibility.
But now, is he on parole or what? Because, I mean, like they said, he has the ankle monitor on.
Yeah, he definitely got post supervision.
But then he had his pops with him.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like him
yo,
and Pop, and I think, bro, if you ask me, this is my opinion. He had to been high, my nigga. Like, you know, you high and then he just get in the moment and snap and them niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like you know how I do the talk.
Right.
And, you know, them niggas is pills and lean and all that shit. The more you talk, you might get more hype and just react. You know what I'm saying? You had to been. You got the ankle monitor on.
Right.
And you just tweak like that, you had to been on some mind-altering substance, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. Your pops, because now I'm questioning Pop Dukes, man. I wish Lil Tad would come home with some craziness. Like, yo, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. Like, no, you're not. You got that bracelet on your ankle. Should be happy you home. Somebody was supposed to be the voice of reason.
And you got Pop Duke out there stripping the nigga for the rollie.
It's crazy. But now,
I'm saying, look at his name.
On the bat line, though, Gutter, Pop Duke is an informant. That's out there. Hold on. Let's
he probably set his son up. That's wicked.
Gutter, I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy, right?
Diabolical, my nigga.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. They're saying that the pops is a informant, and there were 2 off-duty police officers there at the scene when all of this went down. I think they were undercover or retired, but of course they were part of the security team, so they got ran down on. So with everybody holding the code of the street,
hold on. He booked the nigga with a rat and 2 police. That was his team.
Yeah. Now I don't know if the police was with Gucci Mane and and Pooh Shiesty team had the drop on them, or they were there with Pooh Shiesty. But Pooh Shiesty Pops is supposed to be an informant. That's what I'm looking for now. And it's crazy. It's crazy. All this that's unfolding. Yeah. These clips are too long, but and I don't want to take nobody joints and cut them up. But it's all out there that the father's alleged informant, and 2 of the people
before that though.
Yeah, before this.
That's bro. That's diabolical. You set your own son up.
Right. You're supposed to tell him like, nah, especially if he high and he mad. Be like, yo, you not thinking straight. You bugging.
But you hot. Like you hot. So you setting you already. So you already know what's going down. Y'all get booked. You already know what. You know what he gonna do. He gonna say, yeah, I put this together.
And you know what's so crazy about that? Because even though you got Gucci Mane to sign the contracts, to sign you out your deal, that won't hold up in court. That's null and void because it was signed under duress with the threat of violence. They got your ankle monitors. Dudes is out there with their cell phones. Me and my man Will was talking about this the other day. This day and time, you really can't do nothing, especially with your cell phones, because there's cameras everywhere. Cameras everywhere, right? And then they got the towers that just track your phone everywhere you go. So dudes is running around,
he has
recording stuff.
Monitor.
Yeah, the ankle monitor is a dead giveaway.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't. All the other variables within that is moot when you if this is because like I don't know if he had the ankle monitor. You know what I'm saying? But if that's a fact, that everything else is a moot point.
Well, that's what homegirl just reported. He had the ankle monitor on. That's why they ran up in the crib. Like, come on, dude. So they ran up in the crib.
So all of other variables, you're wild. That's why I said he had to have been high, my nigga. You had to have been super high to do that. Or you got another variable. His pops set it up.
Yeah. But Gutter, they got the travel ticket receipts, because what they did was have Gucci Mane meet them in Dallas, meet them in Dallas at a recording studio. So Gucci Mane ain't thinking it's nothing. Like Pooh Shiesty lined them up. They got the phone records, the cameras, the dudes posted it on social media. Like, Gutter, they wild out. And like stuff like this, you can't even call it. Like, I don't know.
Idiot of the century. That's all you can call it, my nigga.
Yeah.
We're in a young century. This the 21st. So far, you know what I'm saying, in our community, that's the most idiotic shit I've seen.
Or
do everything, my nigga. The most idiotic shit I ever seen. You run like you pre-tell what you're gonna do. Like you got a full backstory to what you're gonna do, and then do that with an ankle monitor on. Like you done pre-recorded everything of your meeting and everything. So you gotta you have a paper trail for them or a digital trail, which is probably worse than the paper trail.
Yeah.
Because nothing never you can't delete shit off of it. That's
with them
data.
digital, yeah,
that's data. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what's crazy, because if it's a contract dispute, you don't call your hitters, you call your lawyer. You call a lawyer, be like, yo, it's time for renegotiation. We supposed to sit down at the table, boom, boom, boom. Because your lawyer's your that's your hitter when you're in the courtroom. And I think this is the problem. Dudes are taking the street mindset into the business world and not being able to, make that difference. I remember years ago, God bless my moms, God bless my cousin Mel. Me and my cousin Mel got down on a half a pea of trees, right? No, a pea of trees. You got a pea, we take half a piece.
Half.
Right? So boom, gutter. I'm moving. I'm doing all the shit. I'm moving. He like, yo, help me knock my shit off. I knock his shit off. So after like the second or third re-up, I told him, yo, after this, I'm gonna go out on my own. He trying to tell me I can't cut him out. I'm like, yo, my dude, I'm doing all the work. You just sitting back getting paid. You getting 50% and I'm doing all the work.
Oh, you
so of
work.
course, it left the fist of cuffs. We in the crib locking ass. We put holes in the wall and everything. Because we was living together. My mom's came over. She said, I'm going to tell you like this. Y'all involved in that business, it's only one way you can resolve issues, and that's through violence. She said it's not like real business where you go to court and you get your lawyers to fight his lawyers. He said, so no, if y'all out here playing in this game, it's only one way to resolve conflicts. And that always sat with me. So I look at dudes who got an opportunity to make real money, legit money. Like I said, we splitting the P. We splitting the P. That ain't no bread. Back then it was like 800 a P, 400.
Yeah, that's getting through money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We think of motherfuckers be people don't understand our prices is different.
Yeah.
So a motherfucker can be getting $3,000 a day. That shit don't mean nothing.
Yeah. So when these rappers get an opportunity to make legit money, they come in with the street mindset and bringing street dudes in who don't really have a vested interest in your business like you do. Look, Pooh Shiesty ready to go to jail. He probably got M's on the table. I think he had M's on the table.
He's in jail.
Yeah, he's in jail.
In jail. Like
he's in jail.
He's waiting to decide if they're going to send him to prison.
Right, because these are Fed charges again. Because they went cross state lines.
And you on the federal monitor.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So
and
it's still under you. He's actually still in prison, my nigga.
Yeah.
People don't know. You
exactly.
if say they give you the
still state property or Fed property.
Yeah, they still give you the home confinement and they send you to a halfway house. You still in prison, bro.
Yeah.
You're in the streets, but you still technically are a inmate. You still an inmate.
That's right. You on
whatever you do, that means now while you was incarcerated, you committed another crime. You committed another felony. So now they're gonna take away all that good time from his prior joint.
Right. Because that's why they let him out. Right.
Yeah. He was in the halfway house. When you get home confinement, that's like it's like the halfway house, but you're not in the halfway house. You at home. Okay. So that's why he had the ankle monitor. And they probably gave him a range where he could go because he's an artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He got different circumstances. Or he might have paroled to Texas where he can go to Dallas and shit like that. So I don't know the details of it, but he on that ankle monitor, he's still an inmate, my nigga.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. They give you that leeway because of your circumstances of how you earn your money. You're legit. You getting legit paper. So even in court, they give you a little wiggle room. So why jeopardize that?
Yeah, they allow you to earn your keep in the industry that you in.
So Gutter, I never been in the Fed parole or nothing like that. How does that work? Like you were Fed paroled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long were you on parole? And what was your restrictions?
3 days. 3 years.
3 years. And what was the things you could and couldn't do? Like, were you not allowed to kick it with certain dudes? Because I know they say stay away from felons when you on parole, but you in the hood, everybody a felon. So how does that work?
Like that's kind of bypassed. It depends on where you live. You know what I'm saying? Like if you living in the suburbs, why would you be around unless it's felons over there as well? You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to, you know what I mean? But you're not supposed to be really associating with them. It's not being around them, it's associating with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you know, of course, you can't have no firearms, no kind of weapons. For me, I ain't had no curfew.
Or
Nah. And for what I know, a lot on the feds, they don't really do the curfew shit.
oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Now I was gonna ask, was it your affiliation with other artists, you know, because you did security in some aspect for certain people?
No,
Okay.
only thing they fucked with me is I was gonna get a plane to
Your man, New York.
yeah. This nigga stupid.
Yeah, your man, New York.
But
yeah, you're saying about the planes and stuff?
Yeah, I was trying to get a ticket. Like they was gonna book me a ticket to come up to fly. They was like, you catch a flight, that's a no-no. That was to the halfway house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Catch a flight, that's a no-no. So I had to get on the bus.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing.
Now, see, another aspect that bugs me out is the father's role in it. And I promise you, God, I'm always thankful I kept my sons. I can't say I kept them out the streets because, like, outside is the streets, outside is outside, you know. But I kept my sons out the penile. You know what I'm saying? I kept them out of jail, kept them out of trouble best as I could. You know, they ain't never get jammed up for nothing crazy. As a father, I would wonder why Pooh Shiesty pops would even go with him and not discourage his son from going there. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he's supposed to be the OG, because, you know, the role of an OG is supposed to keep the youngins out of trouble, give them proper guidance. Yeah.
The reason, like, some could surmise is that he was already informant. So,
but damn,
it's a
I
job.
would hate to think he snitch on his son, line his son up and snitch on him. That's crazy work. And of course, y'all, we just speculating. We ain't saying that's what he did. We ain't saying that's what it is. It's just crazy as a father to be somewhere with your son while he's out committing felonies and you holding him down.
Yeah, that's ill. That's what I'm saying. Like one of the variables could essentially be Pop's gassed about.
Right.
Like, fuck that. We gonna rob.
It could be. And see, and that's what's crazy, because this is where we're supposed to put the emotions to the side and move strategic. Because now, as a father, you're supposed to be the elder, you're supposed to be the OG, you're supposed to think smarter. You know the little dudes is gonna be hot-headed. It's like with my little homies when I was outside, right, Gutter? I would always tell dudes, I'm not telling you don't do nothing. I'm saying be smart about how you do it.
Yeah,
I ain't saying don't get your lick back. I'm just saying move smooth, be strategic. Don't just grip up, run outside and be like, you know what I'm saying? Move smooth. And it bugs me out because clearly his pops ain't telling him that. And it's like, as elders, you want to give them a strategy over emotion. And especially, like, this is legit business. So you got to even approach that a little different and more delicate. Like, yo, nah, let's just get the lawyers on the phone tomorrow. We see street shit when it's street shit, because this ain't even like no rap shit. This is some other shit. This is some other shit that's really senseless, that you and I seen this shit back in the 80s and 90s. Why dudes still making the same dumbass mistakes, especially with monitoring devices and cameras everywhere you go? Like, it's like, who in the crew is supposed to be the smart one and be like, nah, don't do this. Not saying don't do nothing, but let's not do this right here. You know what I mean?
I think it's too many people too many people trying to prove that they like that. Nah, but that's
you're 100% right.
Bad thing with us, bro. A dude like, nah, I'm gonna prove to y'all I'm a gangster. When you getting money. And it's not about proving nothing anyway. Like, if you that, you that. Yo, I ain't gotta prove nothing.
Right. Right.
Saying if you ain't got to prove nothing. Shit, I'm trying to get some money in these chicks. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even thinking about that because I know where that goes.
Right.
So, you know, that's
especially when you're like that.
Yeah.
You don't question your skills. You look at dudes like, damn, he don't even know what I'm about to do or what I'm willing to do to him. Cause some dudes,
and you trying to avoid a lot of shit, bro. Because you know you're gonna take it.
Right. Because you know once you pop off, police is coming. There's ain't no mistakes about it. Ambulance is coming, police. It's gonna be a real investigation. It's not a schoolyard fight like we in grade school.
So, you know, dudes don't have to prove that they like that. That's an epidemic in the culture.
Right.
In the hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of our young and older brothers, you know what I'm saying, they gotta prove to people that, yo, really like that. You know what I'm saying? Was like, bro, all right, you like that. It's somebody like that everywhere.
Yo, God, I just had this conversation with my man yesterday. I was just telling him, shout out to my dude B. We was just talking, you know, we was just talking about growing up in the hood, the violence and all that, you know, and I was saying, you know, with me being from Brooklyn, with that, you know, that stigma, Brooklyn get it popping, Brooklyn don't play, wop, 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 whoop-de-whoop. I said, but one thing I was fortunate to learn, I was going to Staten Island in the early 80s, like 1982, 1983, I started going to Staten Island. I was in Park Hill before Park Hill even had the gates up around the projects. I was going down south at an early age, like 12 years old was my first time going south. And everywhere I went, there was violence. Dudes was getting laced, dudes was getting laid out. And what I realized is that violence happens everywhere. Brooklyn ain't the only tough place. It go down to Staten Island. It go down in the South, in the Carolinas, it go down. You know, because growing up in Brooklyn, we used the toughest borough. Everywhere else is soft. Can't nobody touch Brooklyn. But as a kid, my young eyes is seeing this. Dudes is getting laid out and left. So what I realized is violence happens everywhere. And ain't nobody above getting laid out. So be mindful of that and be cautious. God bless Juicy. I always share the story, you know. We outside, you know, we used to think we was the wild cowboys till somebody don't come home. That's a real thing. When you outside playing around in these streets, everybody think, you know, you're going to ride off in the sunset. And that shit just ain't true. That shit just ain't true. So now, I say this about the father. You a grown man. He about our age, Gutter. He got to know better. If he was outside, even though he's a rat, he should want to keep his son safe and his son protected. So you should be like, nah, this is not a good idea. Let me tell you from my experience how this story ends. Won't. Somebody gonna get clipped. Somebody gonna go to jail. What if Gucci Mane and them resisted? What if his team resisted? And then somebody felt compelled to show that they really liked that and aired them out. Then we be looking at more serious. Yeah.
Listen, and this from me being around the hip hop scene in the 90s. A lot of dudes thought wasn't street dudes was street dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or was really on that. You know what I'm saying? They gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, wasn't nobody really thinking about shooting another artist.
Right.
Back then. We'll fight, we'll get it on. It's only gonna go to that if one of your niggas, because it's usually somebody's team member that's gonna pull a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was rare that the artist was going, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know people heard the stories of Hammer.
Right.
He was on niggas' line. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yo, that's exactly what I was thinking when you was talking about it.
Yeah.
Everybody said, yo, Hammer ain't no joke.
Yeah.
We laugh at them pants and that hairdo and them glasses. The Hammer team was on it.
And you got to remember, like, I don't know if like that nigga was a ball boy for Oakland and played baseball, so he was an athlete.
Yes.
So imagine squaring up with that nigga and that nigga putting Smitties on you,
right?
Nigga in Arabian pants beating the brakes off. Yeah. Yeah.
You can't even go back to your hood.
Like if you a real nigga, you just gonna keep it real. Like, yo, this nigga got hands. This nigga put it on.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's why niggas like in this podcast era where dudes reminisce and talk about certain times and shit like that, dudes keep it real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dudes keep it 40 in them niggas, real niggas.
Yeah. Right.
But they talked about it. So, like, I don't know. I think dudes
I was familiar with Vallejo back in 88.
Because I think dudes thought because he had the cane going up, man, real niggas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's what I'm saying. Real ones is everywhere.
Yeah. So, like, bro, don't let people think that, you know what I'm saying, you have to, you got to act like that for you to be that.
Right. Because if you that, you just that.
Only dudes is only reacting when dudes felt real slight.
Right.
And it was normally the niggas, and then niggas is talk, and they'll be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? And shit gets smoothed over. But nigga, niggas ain't gotta act like they tough to be tough, my nigga.
Right. Just go about your business.
Yeah. Like all that, and it'd be the extras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you do the extras, like, and then like then you have to prove that you on that.
Right.
Not knowing, like, you away from that situation. You ain't gotta act like that.
Yeah, and it's something that V for Vengeance said. You know, it's reported that Pooh Shiesty had to tell his man not to shoot one of Gucci's people. And that's a real thing, because when you with your peoples, you know, you always got the one or two who want to prove something. So they crash out and do a dumb move. Because had he popped Gucci, that'd have been the craziest move. That'd have been a dumb move on all they part one. Part two, that'd have been another icon in the game that we lost to stupidity.
And you got to think about this. It's like, you know, dudes don't be really wanting to get booked.
Right.
Oh, now you calling me Charlie Murphy. He's slick. That's a slick one. 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 Hit me with the Charlie Murphy. All right.
Word up.
Yo.
That was Charlie Ball and made pancakes.
Yeah. That was funny.
Nah, but I mean,
like I'm saying, you know, the dude might have been like hesitant to take off that roller, and dude wanted to clap him, and he had to calm him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the whole situation, like I said, idiot of the century. When you got that joint on and you make that decision, you just basically threw your life away, my nigga.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when your life is not threatened. Now, if your life is threatened, you know what I'm saying, then by all means, do what you got to do. But if you the aggressor, if you running down,
if it was the other way around and you had the, you know what I'm saying, back out your gun, he came on some bullshit, then you take it how you take it. You know what I'm saying? But you scheming to strip them and make them sign a contract. You thought you was Suge in the 90s?
See how that story ended.
Yeah.
See how and look, they on track for their story to end the same way.
No, worse.
Yeah.
Worse, because if he got an armed career, bro, he got 25 minimum. He got like a dub, like, no, I don't know. No, with the guns, he gonna get that 924 C2. They gonna smoke his boots, my nigga.
And see, and this shit got to be a cautionary tale for all the young dudes. You would think that Pooh Shiesty would learn from all the dudes before him, but you can't solve legit business situations with that street mentality. You got to check that shit at the door. These little dudes is making M's. They touching real bread.
especially now when everything is recorded.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you may not think shit is recorded, shit is recorded.
Right.
So you definitely have to be real strategic. You know what I'm saying? Especially dealing with a situation like that.
Yeah. Viva Vengeance got a question for you, Gutter. He said, how many dudes you seen felt like they was Superman once they got that stick in their hand?
That's a fact. Damn near all them niggas evil. You know, a lot of them dudes and Great Guard, you know, a lot of them dudes had that elbow and be ass.
Mm-hmm.
They was doing all the busing, but they got that time. They in jail and they a pussy.
Yeah.
A nigga with a 2 to 4 bra.
Yeah.
This is real shit.
Nah, we see it all the time. I've seen it with dudes in the streets. You know, all jokes aside, ain't that the YN way to throw your life away for views and clouts? It's 2000 now. That's what they on. Yo, that's a fact. I remember one time, Gutter, to your point about dudes with the sticks, right? I was in a country house one day and I got into it with somebody, you know, and it was funny because he was.
Look at when the Great God said facts and be crying the whole bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo, dude was like, and shout out to Wayne. Shout out to Wayne, Pat brother. He was there. He could verify this. Me and dude got in an argument. So I was like, yo, let's go outside and shoot the 5. Right? He's like, he came to the door, Gutter, but then he stopped. He like, I ain't even gonna do it to you. I got my hammer on me. Know what I did? I got mine too. You want to do it with these? What up? All the wind was out of cell, Gutter. He said, Chad, I don't even want no problems with you. I said, nah, you just balled up your fist. You act like you wanted it. What you want to do? I said, we can leave them with Wayne. I said, we leave our hammers with Wayne and shoot the 5. What up? He ain't want to do nothing. He ain't want to fight. He ain't want to bang. I was like, y'all going to stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? But he thought he had the upper hand because it was like 8, 9 in the morning. We in the country house getting breakfast. And I say that because when the playing field is level, dudes don't want to play ball. When they think they got the upper hand, then all of a sudden they think they Michael Jordan of the game. And that's how a lot of these young dudes are moving. But somebody got to put the bug in the air. My dude, you're not going to win every challenge. So stand down.
No, it's like
oh yeah, that was the bid. That's what he got jammed up for.
Pooh robbed the dude trying to sell him Jordans.
It's LB bag before the ground, the scene of the crime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's how he got locked up the first time. Yeah.
So he gotta be one of them yellow bus kids. Got to be, my nigga. He got to be. You rob a dude for some Jordans and leave 40 bands?
Or you pretty much overpaid for what you stole.
I'm not saying most of them are pussy, but what I'm saying is a lot of them.
But a lot of them are. A lot are.
A lot of them are. No,
I'm
not going to say most. You know what I'm saying? I say it's a split. What Great God was saying, brother, is that the dude that he's pussy before he get a gun, and then once he get the stick, he's Superman. You know what I'm saying? Before that, he won't fight. He's, you know what I'm saying? Dudes will punk him, and you know what I'm saying? Dudes will punk him and all that, and he won't fight and shit like that. He won't stand up for himself until he get a gun. Then when he get a gun, he's the toughest dude in the neighborhood because he's always pulling his gun on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But he only does that to certain people.
Right.
We got a lot of those dudes in our neighborhood. That's not the majority of the dudes. And that's why I be telling the younger dudes, it's like, bro, you can't run behind them dudes. Because y'all thinking because he always pulling back and guns and all that, he's going to be the same one that either tell on you, you know what I'm saying, or y'all going to get into something, and when y'all get in jail, he's going to be that soft nigga.
Yep.
Because he started off as he He wasn't willing to fight for himself till he had a weapon. That's my, you know what I'm saying? Dudes, you know what I mean?
Now, I like what New York said. I'm more humble with it on me because I know where it could go. Exactly.
That's a fact, nigga. I ain't trying to get nobody in the middle or somewhere where, you know what I'm saying? I don't know the area.
Right. Or even if you know the area, because once it come out and you let it go.
Yeah, I'm planning on using it. So it might not be the opportune time. Even if, like, especially if you see somebody you really want to get. If it's not the opportune time, you gotta let this nigga get a pass.
And then sometimes put it on a scale, like, is this dude even worth it? Because some dudes you could just punch him in the face. You even gotta buck him down. And I
got the burner and one of them, yeah, I'm beating the shit out of him. I don't care nothing. Like, I ain't even gonna back the burn out. We can fight.
Right.
Because I grew, like, that's the thing is, I'm still part of the area where we grew up fighting. And then if you get a gun pulled on you for beating somebody up on a one-on-one, you was considered pussy.
Yep.
Guns only came out unless you're getting jumped, you know what I'm saying, or somebody actually caused somebody harm in your family or yourself. Right. You know what I'm saying? You might
that was
cut.
The last resort.
Yeah, last resort. You know what I'm saying? Dudes knew that. Like, I don't understand why a lot of dudes in my generation, you know what I'm saying, especially from around my age group, don't say that.
Because you know why, Gutter? A lot of them was the soft ones. Because remember, when we were younger, everybody wasn't tough either. Everybody, some dudes played ball, some dudes was fly, some dudes just met girls, some dudes was into their books. Now it's almost like everybody has to be gangster. Everybody has to be like that. And they don't understand that people will accept you for how you are. Yo, if you like drawing comics, then be the comic dude.
Nigga,
we still rock with you. Right. That's what I'm saying.
I was a drawing comic nigga. But like I already told you my situation. It's usually I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? We gonna crack jokes, you know what I'm saying? You gonna snap on me, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time when I first came back up here, it was Mississippi. That was their best shit. I'm country, and that shit ain't hold no water. I was smashing them. Because you know me, I grew, like I told you, nigga, we going to hell. Once you started, I'm going deep. I'm going deep. Yeah, that's why your mother be on Fulton Street Nard, nigga. Yeah.
Below the belt.
Hitting you with that one. Yeah, I'm foul. You know what I'm saying? So hence we gonna get in fights. So I was getting in a lot of fights until motherfuckers figured out, like, oh, all right, this little
he ain't wanting to play with.
Yeah, he's because that was like that then. If you willing to fight and you could fight, you know what I'm saying?
And that's it. You earn your respect.
You got to understand what generation we were in. We were teenagers then. It wasn't everybody coming outside busting on everybody as teens in our area. You know what I'm saying? That came later on. That came really after we got out of high school. Sometimes we were still in high school at the edge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And them times you got to think about it. We in the 80s.
Yeah.
Saying it start, of course, advancing. Younger niggas start being outside earlier. You know what I'm saying? In my generation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had the 13 and 14-year-old that was outside with us. It always been like that, but it was like more and more and more.
Yeah. Now I was laughing at what Great God said. Great God said we sound mad old, Gutter. So I said buck him down. You called it the burner. Yo, we talk about the 80s. Some of these dudes is born in 2000 and something. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. We've been doing this decades before dudes started coming outside, before it was really a thing, because now it's glorified. Back then, there was no real pride in being how we was. That was something that stayed outside. It was nothing that you glorified in the house. You know, you still go see grandma, had that respect.
You bet your moms better not find out you got anything to do, bro. Like, my nigga, I had like 4 guns under the mattress. My mom was green as shit, my nigga. But you know what I'm saying? I played ball. You know what I'm saying? I was on my high school team and I did all right in class. But you know, this is at this time I'm cutting. Like I'm not. So my mom's not, but if my mom's knew, and you know, my mom's really thought I started getting high off of crack, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
My grandfather asked me that before.
Like
I was 16.
Yeah, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like you literally asking me, and I'm like, what? Ma, I got a sack. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not gonna never tell you no, I sell it.
Right. But damn
You know
sure not smoking it.
Yeah. Like, but I'm looking at her as like, yo, Ma, you are wilding. But that's how green my mom's was as far as dealing with street shit.
Yeah.
Like like, bro, like I told like I'll go to mid, hit a lick. I have a couple thousand in my pocket, can't spend it. You know what I'm saying? And then go buy some shit and say somebody boosted it and tell her, give me $50. And I bring like $500 worth of clothes because she don't know all the brands.
The prices, right.
Yeah, she don't know. Yeah, you know how to took the joints off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now I ain't gonna front. I was coming home with nice stuff and tell my mom, yeah, my grandma's bought this for me. My grandfather bought it for me. I'd be lying. It's like, that's a nice jacket. I like those sneakers. Yeah, my grandmother bought them. Because you know, my grandmother used to spoil me. But you know, I was outside getting that bread, you know. But we still, and that's what I'm saying, we still had that level of respect.
That's what I'm saying. We had to hide our street endeavors.
Right. Bring shit in slowly.
Yeah, you gotta creep it in. Like, bro, I hid clothes and we had a closet because we stayed in the basement apartment. We had a closet, you know, when you come in the brownstones,
yeah,
and you open the gate, that little closet right there.
Yeah, right there.
I had like 10 outfits in a polo bag in there. So I go outside, take that shit, because that's how that was. Me and Big used to do the same shit. I used to go, mind you, like my fake uncle owned the building, so he would pay me $45 a week to sweep, clean the, you know, sweep and mop the building. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I got the keys to the roof. Like I'm going on the roof, change my shit, come back down, put it in that closet, and off to school, dip
outside. Pew.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah. And now, dudes, and that's the sad part, right, Gutter? Because we had to get it how we lived it. Now these little dudes got opportunities that was never really afforded to us to make M's. These dudes are becoming overnight successes. You know what I'm saying? Touching M's at such a young age, and still don't have the proper guidance. That's why, like, even with Pooh Shiesty, I'm more upset with his father. For me, as a father.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dedicated my life to keep my children out of harm's way by any means necessary. And I would always tell my sons, I'm never going to pick your friends, but be cautious of who you hang out with. Because I know they're going to be with hitters and things like that.
That's similar to the situation where, I don't know if you know, if the little girl got killed in, the 7-month-old got killed in.
Yeah, God bless in Bushwick.
Yeah.
Yeah, God bless the baby, man.
Bro, dude was shooting at his pops and his brother.
Get the fuck out. That's who he's hitting at?
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, you see these situations.
Yeah. Yo, that is crazy. At his pops and his brother. I'm gonna bring the article up real quick so that people know what we're talking about, right? Because this is crazy. Hold on 1 second. We'll bring it up real quick so we can share it with the people. Cause yo, that whole story, right, Gutter, it broke my heart. It broke my heart when I saw it, and I was wondering who they was busting at for it.
Yeah, we went to the joint. That's when I found out.
I just pulled it up.
But we begin tonight with that deadly shooting of that little girl in Brooklyn. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim is live on the scene in East Williamsburg with new information on what happened.
Yeah, they call Bushwick East Williamsburg now, I guess.
Well, Shada
Yeah,
and
right.
Mike, those suspects
Yeah,
opened
Bushwick
fire into a
House,
crowd
like,
standing
street.
over there, several strollers and children in that group. The family of that baby then ran into that deli on the corner for cover. Workers in there say it took several minutes before the family realized the
Brother
baby
got
had been
raped.
struck. What ensued was unimaginable heartbreak. Chaos and panic in East Williamsburg, Brooklyn, after gunfire erupted around 1:20 this afternoon. One of those bullets striking and killing a 7-month-old baby, a life that had barely begun, taken in an instant. Witnesses say they heard 3 shots.
I thought it was fireworks, but then it hit me in my leg. I got like little metal pieces on my leg.
That baby's mother and father and older sibling ran into this deli on the corner.
When she moved there, she see the other baby bleeding. Then she go crying and go crazy.
The suspects, meanwhile, fled from Humboldt and Moore Streets on a moped, heading the wrong way down a one-way street. 2 blocks away, they collided head-on with an oncoming vehicle. Both men thrown from the moped. The rear passenger, the alleged gunman, landed so hard, both his shoes came off as he hit the pavement. Workers at a deli where that happened say their firearm was flung into the street.
It looked like it's a gun. Yeah, it's a pistol gun, I don't know, something like that. They picked it up and also they left in the floor a couple of stuff, like a sandal. I picked up the sandal and I gave it to the police.
Yo,
The
Poppy
gunman
is
can be
the
seen here
perfect
limping after the collision.
Dominican or
He was
Puerto
rushed to a
Rican
hospital.
accent.
He was later taken into custody.
Look like a gun,
Investigators say this is the
like a
driver,
pistol or
last seen
something.
fleeing more than a mile away. Their moped found nearby and recovered by police.
He is the subject of a massive NYPD manhunt, and all New York City police officers have a very clear picture of this outstanding suspect on their phones. In addition, NYPD bloodhounds are currently working to track his movements.
There are no words that can mend the heartbreak this family is feeling now. No declaration strong enough to lift the grief they are now forced to carry. No embrace wide enough to heal the hole that has been left in their lives.
Police say this was a gang-motivated shooting. The suspect in custody has been arrested on an unrelated incident, a domestic violence-related robbery. This victim has been identified as 7-month-old Kaori Patterson Moore. Reporting live in East Williamsburg, Stefan Kim, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. Should have broke their neck when they got hit on them scooters. Should have broke their damn necks. But this is, and that's what I'm saying. This is how the young ones think, and the older dudes around them ain't even giving them the proper guidance to, like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, son, don't, especially if it's supposed to be hitting at the pops and his brother. That's crazy. But it shows you how dudes don't have no respect for life. Gutter, you was laughing at Poppy.
Poppy said he looked like he got it gone. Maybe I see he throw it in the street. It looked like a pistol. That nigga got the official Dominican up top. That Poppy had coke back in the days. I'm telling you.
He might still get it.
Poppy had work back in the days. I don't know if he got it now. Poppy had work back in the days. He'd be the first nigga. Hey, I got it. Why? I'm fucking with him. He no boo.
Oh man. But this is what we saying about little dudes with hammers. You know, one thing, like, see, I support the Second Amendment. I am not anti-gun, for the record. I am not. I support the Second Amendment. And in addition to that, when my children were of age, I took them to the range. Showed them how to properly handle a weapon. Show them how to properly shoot. Take them out to the range. You know, right there to Jersey. You know, we went to different ones, different ranges. But teach them the importance of gun safety, and they won't be outside being reckless because they're learning on their own. They're not practicing. They're not learning that it's a responsibility that come with that. Got to remember, we was young. We at least be on the roof target practicing with the 40 bottles. You know what I'm saying? Line up some bottles and let it go. Practice. These young people, man, it's And I don't want to blame just the young people, because as elders, it's our job to educate our young people. But it's not enough of us really trying to pull little people to the side. And I ain't saying run up on strangers. Talk to the little dudes in your family. I know a few people got a little cousins and nephews as knuckleheads that they should be drilling this in their head. But let's bring our sister up here.
You know, a lot of times they be like,
sis, what up?
What up, dear brothers? How y'all doing this Easter Sunday?
Peace.
We chilling. We having church today.
I know that's right.
That's right. It's Easter. I don't.
I'm going to Coney Island after this, then hitting the Deuce. Go to
You
Coney
got
Island.
your outfit all laid out?
Got my Oshkosh bagash and my blue and white dunks.
Oh, you talking about 86?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
What? I had the what was the first ones I had? I had the blue and yellow ones, the Michigan joints.
Oh yeah.
I had the blue and yellow Michigan joints. You know, my sister and them was staying on the Michigan campus, so I got a hat and a sweatshirt.
Dope.
Yeah, I had that Guess jean suit for Easter.
Look, you can't tell dudes nothing. Look at your man, New York, starting trouble. New York, your wife is here, man. Be on your best behavior. He said, Brother Tad didn't gutter lend you money for the barbershop. Then you set him up so you ain't have to pay him back. Oh man. Yeah, but now remember dudes used to get dipped. You couldn't tell dudes nothing. I ain't gonna front. I ain't have it like that. We only got clothes for the holidays, birthdays, first day of school, and Easter.
Now you got to think about it.
When the seasons change.
By 86 Easter, I was full-fledged Midtown. So like I was gonna get my fit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I had to be in mid on Easter and then just go to that other shit later.
Yeah.
You know, shit was still open on Easter. The clothes in the sneaker stores. As long as you there early, nigga, I go to mid early. 9 o'clock.
Spend the money.
By Macy's, nigga. Get right back on the train. I'm in Dr. J's. I had a bankroll. I'm in Dr. J's or A&S.
Somebody put that on Facebook yesterday. They said, name an old store that showed you from Brooklyn. I put Dr. J's. Dr. J's, S&D, Simons.
A&S, we the only ones that
somebody
had
put A&S. Yeah.
We the only
Abraham and Strauss.
Yeah.
I put Simons, Murray's Corner, all the old school joints.
Facts. Simons on Belmont.
Yeah. Yo, me and Dog was laughing because we used to have beef with Fort Greene dudes.
Be laying on you to book you.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Yo, we never had problems in Brownsville. Downtown, we had to go down there deep or take them things with us. Because we had beef with Fort Greene dudes. So he's like, do we want to go downtown or we want to go to Simons?
But
like,
that always been them and Farragut niggas territory.
Yeah.
Even from little, like you go in that, remember when the game room was open?
Yep.
By the D train?
Yep. Yeah. And in the back.
Yeah.
By Wendy's and all that.
It went from young niggas taking niggas games. Like, yo, taking niggas credits and shit. Like, nigga be on the game, nigga push nigga out the way.
Yeah.
You really had to, you had to fight for all that. Nigga, you want to get out there, if you want to get out,
that's Keisha peoples. That was Keisha family. Keisha Fort Greene family. Bum rushing dudes. So shorty, let me get a quarter. Let me get a million, shorty.
Yeah.
That ain't never happened to me, but I knew it happened.
Nah, cause I'm not going for it. You're gonna have to beat me.
Exactly.
You're gonna miss it, man. Cause y'all gonna have to jump me. You're not getting nothing.
That's right.
Nigga, I'm not buying you no Frank, none of that. Like they used to really press the niggas down there. Yo, shorty, buy me a Frank. Fuck out of here.
They used to take dude sneakers at the city pool.
Oh, no, they used to take niggas. Yo, remember the flea market on Fulton? Across from Maze and all that shit where they had upstairs too. Yeah, they used to be laying in there. They used to be in there like 4-5 deep, acting like they shopping. Yeah, they picking up sneakers, ain't buying shit. The same 4 niggas every day.
I tell you, a dude from LG was gonna dead me on my New Balance, and my man Ace from LG, shout out to him. He just gave dude the look like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I was about 15, 16 then. This when I was first outside.
He let you see him? Would you let me see them, shorty?
Exactly.
Oh no.
Only because he knew my man Ace. So he was talking to Ace, yo, Ace, what up? Da-da-da. Him and Ace kicking it. So I'm thinking he good. You know, I'm still young. So he like, yo, what up? Ace like, oh, this is my man Ty. He's like, yo, what you got? He said, see? I opened him up. Ace was just like this. Dude closed my box and gave it back. He said, nah, I like those, shorty. And he walked off. And yo, I'm glad Ace did that because Ace knew how I was. I would have came at him. I'd be like, yo, that was your man. That was your man. Who is he? Where he at? Or you know what I'm saying? Because when I was young, I wasn't the brightest kid when I was young. You know what I'm saying? I fly off the handle. I do some shit like Pooh Shiesty did, but not as dumb. Because I was smart, but I was a hothead. I was a hothead.
That's why I came
Fort
back.
Greene, Farragut, LG, and Gowanus lived at the mall.
I came back up at 84. By 85, I knew, yeah, I'm going downtown. I got a burner.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Cook.
That's when I first had a burner, a 2.5.
Oh, pocket rocket.
Yeah, I had a 2.5 Raven.
Was that the only kind they made back in the days? Hold up. Don't tell me it was silver. Don't tell me it was silver.
I had the silver.
I think we all had the same one.
No, but you know, dudes.
That's what I'm saying, the same kind.
Remember, the old timers was going down south, copping them shits, and I think them shits was cheap because once we started going down south, going out of town, you start like, I paid $100 for that shit. That shit cost $25, my nigga.
Yeah, you thought $100 was a steal.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, by that time I knew, like, nigga, anytime I go, then and I'm going to mid. So I know the older niggas in mid is trying to take your shit.
Yeah.
Yo, shorty, I was with you. No, you was not. Nigga, you did not dig this pocket. First, I had the big orange razor, but some of them niggas is too big. You know what I'm saying? So a nigga had to tear ass. Like, when you know when a nigga too big, that razor ain't gonna do shit. And they gonna beat the brakes off you and take that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna tear ass, nigga. I'm, you know, I'm fast. I ain't getting this, nigga.
Yeah. Great God said to trade deuce. I remember those two. Uncle Jess said it was silver.
Yeah.
Uncle Jess had one too. Yo, I think we all had that same exact one.
Because them shit you could put in your back pocket.
Yep. Put a little handkerchief or something.
Handkerchief, a wallet.
Whatever.
And I'm gonna pop the shit out your ass.
The little pocket rocket. Oh man, we telling our age.
No, but then went from there to a fucking big ass 45.
Mm-hmm.
I plucked from somebody.
Oh yeah, we was good for dating somebody on their thing. Let me see that. Let me see that. You did.
Yeah. I plucked that from somebody. I ain't like that shit was like just fell in nigga lap.
What, trade deuce?
No, that 4 pound.
Oh, okay, the 4 pound.
Word. Yo, let me get this. No. Nah, bet, bro. You good.
Yo, Gutter, we talk about downtown. That's why I say shout out to Cook, because I remember one day Cook came to the crib. He had the Miz 11. And he's like, yo, you need this? It was a Nike box. Opened it up. I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Ever since then, I was like 1990. Ever since then, that's how I was going downtown. Going downtown. It's like I'm shopping for sneakers. Like we sneaker shopping, but got them things in there. But see, again, when we was young, not saying that we was angels, but we were more cautious, more wise, more intelligent. This Pooh Shiesty shit still got my head bugging because
it ain't registered.
You go on a mission with your pops? Your pops don't tell you. Your pop's supposed to be an OG. Your pop's supposed to keep you out of trouble. Now, as much shit as I've done in the streets, as much shit as I've been outside, My sons are grown. I would never take them with me nowhere on that type of time. I would never co-sign that shit. And you know, sometimes with young dudes, you can't tell them nothing. I'm still not going with you.
No, I'm gonna tell you stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you really love somebody, you gotta be honest with them. Like, bro, you dumb as shit. You think you gonna get away with that?
Yo, Gutter, when my brother in black got shot, I was literally arguing with my brother. I wanted to fight him because they was going to Pacific. And we had beef with the Jamaicans over there. Like, it was up. And they was drinking. They like, yo, fuck that. We gonna go over to Pacific. And I'm like, what y'all going over there for? Yo, stop being stupid. And I really wanted to fight them, Gutter, because they wanted to go over there. I was mad. I went to bed. Next thing you know, my cousin banging on my door. Yo, they just shot Black and your brother. They just shot them. And where did they shoot? On Pacific.
Also, so they went to hang out.
They just went to start trouble. But it was already beef.
Oh, so
we was teenagers.
No, they went to spend and it ain't go out how they planned.
They ain't even take no blickies, Gutter.
Huh?
They just went to start shit. Like, when you young, you dumb, and you think you invincible.
Yeah. And
I told my brother this is the first time him being hard-headed paid off because he got chipped in the back of the skull. And Black stayed in the hospital longer. And I cried, Gutter, and I cried and I prayed. But I swear, my brother was wide awake. He had the tubes in his nose, and he's like, yo, I need a cigarette. I just started laughing. I'm like, yo, you stupid. I was happy that he was up and alive. He was up, alive, and alert. But the ignorance of young people, coming from where we come from, people don't realize the level of ignorance. So when I constantly talk about mindset and just elevating your shit, I want people to know I was stupid before. You know what I'm saying? I was smart for a street dude, but the chances I was taking was stupid.
Yeah, we always doing dumb shit.
It's the dumbest shit.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I rushed a nigga with a burner before.
Yeah, me too. That's how I got my head. One of the times I got my head bust. He just, yo, Gutter, he was hitting me, calling me stupid. He had the blink out, just busting my head. Like, is you stupid?
It was just, it with me, it was just that I surprised him. I end up getting the burner, but he bust, like, he tried to shoot me, but he just bust between my legs. Because he was like, you know how you pulling it out?
Yeah.
And he didn't get a chance to, like, aim it at me and shoot me. But like,
element of surprise.
That shit still was dumb.
Yeah, it's always dumb, Gutter.
Because imagine that nigga would have, like, only reason I really tried him because he was smoking.
Yeah, as you should.
Found out he had a burner.
But see, Gutter, this goes back to what we're saying about the hands. You know what I'm saying? Because some dudes are tough with it. Some of us are tough without it. Like, you the same Gutter with the blick that you are without the blick. It ain't like you become the super dude when you get it. Nah, you the same dude. That's why you rushed him. That's why I rushed dude. I knew he had it. He put it away. I'm like, I'm about to get him. But my man ain't follow the lead, and he called his mans over. Now it's 3-on-1, and I got to get out of there. I got to go. You know what I mean? But these are the stupid chances that we took. Tad, I remember that was on my block. Reg's mother started working on him. She was, yep. Sis, I know you remember. I know you remember. That was right on your block. I know you remember that. Yeah,
you mentioned Pacific. That's where my peoples was at too.
Yeah.
Pacific between in Nostrand.
Yeah.
We over there. That was my uncle.
This was down by Grand.
Oh, okay.
Pacific and Grand, the other end.
Grand and Clark.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All
you got it, Gutter.
Rats used to run on the street. That shit scared shit out of me. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. It should be like 300 rats. Like the light a hit, like you'll walk up the block and you'll see the middle of the street moving, and the light will hit them shits. I'm turning all the way around, my nigga. I'm gone. Dead ass. Them shits used to fill the whole like 3 houses. But it was really them garages.
Yeah.
Two
they had
garages
right
right across the street from each other. They was running back and forth. No. That was definitely Them niggas never had to worry about me trying to rob them.
Yeah.
Nobody on that block ever tried to worry about me, ever had to worry about me trying to book them. You know, you want to come from the blind side. That's the only blind. That was the only blind side. Because if you come from Carson, it's right there.
Right, you right there.
Yeah, you right there. And that was people's anyway.
Right,
You know
right.
But I'm saying if I was like, if they never would have had to worry about that, my nigga, I'm not coming straight on to get blown away. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not coming by with all them rats was definitely a barrier.
Nah, they was thick. It's like little straight dogs.
Bro, the whole street was layered. You'll just see the street moving. I was like, oh no. You light a cigarette? I mean a lighter? Oh fuck no.
But sis, let me ask you, what you think about the whole Pooh, Shiesty, and Gucci Mane situation? Have you been following up on it?
Yeah, that's crazy. That whole thing is crazy. Like I said before, you know, you're in a business setting right now. You got to act like businessmen. But some people don't know how to turn that off, and especially you got an ankle bracelet on and you want to act crazy. That's just no sense. Like Gutter said, he probably was high on something, because that just don't even make no sense. It don't even register right. But as far as the father is concerned, because I know, you know, he was a informant. But here's the thing. I don't know what that situation was. So I can't call it, because we act like some of these young folks don't terrorize their parents. A lot of young folks terrorize their families and their household. And you see it all the time. Some people, you know, have the courage to post it on social media. But you have a lot of these young folks who were terrorists in their own phone. So I don't know what the situation was, but let's say it is that. Yeah, I'm telling on you and everybody you involved with, because that don't even make sense, the father going with him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just giving terrorism to me.
Sound like a setup to me. No, his pops, from what I heard, is, you know, pops was allegedly a street dude.
Okay.
Right.
So, like, that's
okay, so that put a whole new perspective on it.
Yeah, that's insidious. If you, you know what I'm saying, that's, bro, even without the alleged him being the informant.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is that you're gonna have your son out there like that, my nigga.
Yeah, and that's crazy. The part that's crazy. Because let's say the boy is a terrorist and the pop's supposed to be a street, you're supposed to put hands on him. And it's a reflection. A lot of times,
what I'm saying is, if you put it in perspective of his pops was a street dude, so who's the leader? Because if you understand what I'm saying? If he come up just like his pops, you got to remember, say we taking the alleged informant out of the equation,
right?
Then he's following his pop's footsteps. So now you done brought your son into a situation that's detrimental to him, knowing that he got an ankle monitor. I don't care, like I said, take the informant part out, because he's not informant on this case, allegedly. It's supposed to be some prior shit, if I'm correct.
Right. No, you're right.
I don't know the particulars. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going by what was said.
What's reported, yeah.
So just you taking your son there, if you was a street dude, that means your son followed in your footsteps. That's just like if you got a little brother or you got a little homeboy that you treat like your brother. Whatever you do, he's going to follow in your footsteps. So that, like, all the onus still goes on the father. Whether this dude was a little terrorist, he might have been a terrorist in the community, he might have terrorized the mother, but he terrorized the mother because the pops was probably terrorizing the mother.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So in that situation, this nigga is 100% at fault. How you take your son on with an ankle bracelet down there to do anything wrong?
Exactly. Any parent with brain cells got to deter their children from all kind of harms and evils. That's your job as a parent.
Exactly.
The number one job to deter your kids from foolishness.
He got a burn on him. First of all, that's a violation of
yeah.
That's an automatic violation. So why is you like? And he has a potential to make millions. So now it's the pops and allow his emotions to supersede his intelligence.
Yeah.
More than the son, because the son follow behind you. If you tell him, nah, boy, the fuck is wrong with you? Sit your dumb ass down. Because now to remember, if we going by that equation, he had to look up at his pops. If he, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he's the junior.
Right.
And like he's talking about like before the situation happened, he's going through paperwork or something, talking about how solid everybody is on his team and whoop de woo woo woo. You know what I'm saying? So now you the junior. So it's gonna get the senior is gonna get the call. If you got senior with you, that means you fuck with your pops like that.
Right.
You look up to your pops. Oh, my pops was a real nigga, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna fuck with my pops. My pops can show me better than anybody else. But in all actuality, your pops jammed you up.
Facts.
All the way up.
Facts. That's crazy.
Because you can't say that you had your pops with you. Right. You may have had your pops with you in the sense of you're the artist and within the parameters of you talking about your contract deal and all that. Yeah, your father. But on that situation, his pops. In that situation, he with his pops.
Yeah. Okay.
Because his pops was that
the leader.
Yeah.
He's the leader.
Boy, you my son. Like,
he the shot caller, right?
Exactly.
Say we either gonna roll out or we gonna stand down.
You got the money, but I'm essentially at the end of the day, I'm the shot caller because you know my experience, what I've been through. So you're gonna follow my lead. And then I say, look at his name, bro. Pooh, Shiesty.
Yeah, Shiesty. Shiesty is somebody who can't be trusted.
Yeah, exactly. Is a dude that can't be trusted, and he like I said, we got an epidemic of dudes trying to live up to names, you know what I'm saying, or environments that they came up with. You know what I'm saying? They try to use that as like, let me prove to you I really come from this.
I'm gonna tell you a funny story.
Everybody know you come from that,
right? You know a funny story about my pops and some shit similar to that. One day, we was having a party in Smurf Village. Shout out to Keisha Farley. We was having a party at her crib in Smurf Village. My pops come, like, yo, Tad, let me get your thing. I'm like, what? Hey, let me get your thing. I said, Daddy, you bugging. I'm not putting. He said, yo, a motherfucker talking shit to your father. I said, Daddy, if you had a chance to walk away, just go home, please. I'm not giving you nothing. Because I know he's gonna use it. I'm like, I'm not giving you my. I'm like, plus look where I'm at. You don't think I need my shit? But I just thought it was crazy because I wouldn't put my pops in that situation.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't be like, here, Daddy.
I ain't gonna
go get busy. He go get jammed up.
That's why I say it comes on both sides. Like, like you a grown man. Why would you want your pops to go through that too? So both of them dumb. That's what I said. Both of them dumb as a bag of rocks, my nigga.
Facts.
Both of them, senior and junior. I don't care how you cut it, my nigga.
Yeah, see, and as a father, he's supposed to be disciplined. This is where you're supposed to be mature. You're supposed to be the voice of reason. Like I said earlier, I'll be like, I'm not telling you don't do nothing, but this is how you do something. You gotta move strategic. Don't just crash out.
Like, even if you mad at whatever situation, it's a more strategic way that you could have remedied that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what courts and lawyers are for.
Like even if you're gonna take it to a street level, nigga, wait till you get off paper.
Right.
You gonna take it there, wait till you Wait till that. But you on an ankle bracelet. You ain't even on paper yet. You on an ankle bracelet. You're still an inmate.
Yep.
And see, and what's crazy, it's an epidemic of young dudes who got the opportunities that a lot of us didn't have, and they're throwing it away. Because what they always say, it's one thing to get in the room, but it takes discipline to stay there. So these dudes are getting in rooms that are really hard to get in. And now that they're there, they are literally throwing their lives away. Because I'm not just talking about the Pooh Shiesties and the Little Dirks, and there's so many who we know and that we don't know that are either getting clipped or getting locked up.
Or that we don't know.
Yeah.
Because they'll try to live up to a reputation around their neighborhood. Live up to they pops or older brother or something like that. And then, you got to think. These little dudes be having their own little quote unquote social media fame. Like, within the 5 boroughs. Then wherever city you at, you know what I'm saying? Whatever city or area they at, they have their own little thing that's the social media where they going back and forth, and dude might not have 1 million followers or nothing like that, but he got the followers in that area.
Yeah.
And then he feel he got to live up to whatever he talking about.
Right. Live up to that image he created online.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The perfect example I give is T.I. son.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I think he will. Right? I think he will do something to somebody.
Just to prove.
That, I grew up by like he keeps saying he stayed with his grandma and all that he went to the hood and da. He will, he's one of them dudes, and unless Tip or one of them really talk to him and let him understand that, bro, you know what I'm saying? But he's a perfect example of one of them dudes that will crash out, you know what I'm saying, and do something, not thinking about the consequences, because he got to prove that he'll do it.
Gutter, let me ask you, you ever meet dudes back growing up that had the good life? Their parents had money, they ain't have to hustle, but they chose the streets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always find that crazy, because this dudes like us who was raised in this shit trying to get out. And you got people where we trying to be, trying to get in. Because you think how fortunate we are to do the things we're able to do for our children at this day and age. Like I was able to take my children to Disney World and stuff like that. Me coming up, Coney Island was Disney World for us. Get on the front of the train, look out the window like this, we was lit. You couldn't tell us nothing. Once that train went outside, we saw the beach, we saw the rides. That was all the Disney we needed. You know what I'm saying? Now we able to give our children so much more. But it's like the children who do have that, like King, his mother and his father successful, but he chose to be around poverty-stricken, poverty-minded people. When you say you going to the hood, in the hood, most people are trying to get out or better their circumstances. And I always found that crazy. And I've always told my children, I wouldn't subject y'all to what we had to go through, because it was a different time. You think we was raised in the 70s, you know what I'm saying? Early 70s, where the Civil Rights Bill was just passed and all our parents was just getting out of segregation. They were just learning how to move about the country.
This is where I give them grace, though. You out there, you ain't around no black people, for real.
What you mean?
And if you grew up, you got to think about it. Your pops grew up in the hood, so he has the full black experience. You don't. So you want to go and tap in and what the feeling and all of that your pops always talked about, being around black people. Because he's going to go to school, he's going to be around white kids and other kids. He's not going to be around a bunch of black people. You know what I'm saying? So that's the grace. That's the grace I give him, is he want to connect. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it, bro. You grow up, like a kid grow up with, say my daughter grew up with me after all the shit I've been through, but she grew up in a mostly white area. But I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, the neighborhood where her family still live too. She gonna want to experience that.
Yeah.
That's natural, that's natural as a kid. But this the thing is, like I said, now he's trying to prove that he's hood.
Right. But here's the thing. They in Atlanta where you got black people everywhere, successful and poor. He going where the poor folks is. He could hang with the successful black people. Remember, Atlanta's the black Mecca now. And I'm quite sure he grew up with a lot of affluent black people. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, when people want to go to the poverty level and you don't have to be, you know what I'm saying? Like that mindset, because Atlanta, like, you know, when I'm in Atlanta, I'm always with black folks. I hardly see white folks when I'm in Atlanta, but all the black people I know are doing great for themselves. That's why they're there, you know, nice homes, nice rides, you know, and gated communities.
But you got to remember, are we talking about his family?
Well,
everybody don't make it out. You know what I'm saying?
His mother and father made it out.
You're going to see, because you got to remember, he's saying he's going to his grandmother. He's going to see his grandmother. So
I wonder which mother, because ain't Tiny mother white?
No, it got to be Tip. It got to be Tip. Grandma.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But Tiny mother grew up in the hood. So that's still, you know what I'm saying?
That mindset of the hood. Yeah.
It's still, and they not really in the hood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They in the middle class area. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they grew up in the slums. But the hood is the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Motherfuckers go down everywhere.
Yeah, you know, motherfuckers it'll be an all affluent area of black people, and motherfuckers still sell drugs and rob and do all that. You have a certain, because it might be a family that come from that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because that's why the environment matters when we rearing these young people, you know. I think it's a certain conversation that has to be held, because I agree with you, Gutter. You know, sometimes you want that black experience, because a lot of times, and especially in pop culture now, it's glorified. And I always say this, it's the people who control the message, the people who control the industry, because it's not us who controls the message. Like, it's the people with the small hats. So they glorify our poverty. Like whether you look at Good Times or whatever, because I know as a black man, I think y'all would agree with this, we always want better for ourselves. We always want better for the generations behind us. But these people that control the media and the images always put the message that we enjoy poverty, that's our strength. Oh, these kids, they don't know we had to do this, we had to do that. And by all rights, we did.
No,
you know what I'm saying? We did have to struggle, but struggle builds character. And we don't put our children in a position where they got to earn something so they could develop character, because that's what's missing a lot outside of a lot of these young dudes. Like you and I, Gutter, a lot of things we did was out of necessity. We didn't starve, but things we wanted, we had to go get it ourselves. These people could just ask for it and get it. They get cars for their birthday.
This is the thing, is what it is in the media. You have other people when you and this has been when you got black equated with poor. When a white person say, yo, I grew up in the hood, or somebody else say they grew up in the hood, this is why I act like that. No, you act like black because that's what's cool. Don't say because you grew up poor, because that ain't all black people ain't poor.
Right.
The fuck is you talking about? So you act and talk like you cosplay black people, and this is with everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is like, because you grew up over here, like every black person, even if you grew up in the hood ain't really the hood to everybody. Because you have successful people that live in these neighborhoods and make money, but you would assume because they have Black American vernacular, you know what I'm saying, that all of them is criminals and crooks, and because they dress they all dress like that they, you know what I'm saying? So the media equates blackness with poverty.
Yes. Yes.
So now they want you to paint that same image, that everybody come from poverty, and that's why you do that, and that's the black culture. They want us to paint the culture as that. The black culture is that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want our artists and our, you know, our entertainers, our athletes and all that to portray black culture as criminal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what, or they're gonna paint it that way. Even if they not portraying it, they're gonna paint it that way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because they like hood the way we talk, our vernacular. Like we articulate, but we talk with a certain accent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That I'm not gonna change to sound articulate to you. You know what I mean? We speak in our own way. We have basically our own version of English.
Yeah,
That
speaking
doesn't.
our voice.
But
Yes.
what they do is they only paint the criminal element as speaking like that. Because they do have certain black educated people that will take away their accent and pronounce all their words like a white person would. They would think now they're not the criminals, only the ones that talk like this. So now you're going to get a black person to portray it. It's easy for us to paint it like that. Now we can keep smoking, y'all. You know what I mean? Indiscriminately.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that been it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Now you hit it on the head.
Everything is just modern day blackface. However you put it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a black person, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a Asian person, whether it's a white person, you know what I'm saying? Even though they don't put on the, you know what I'm saying? You use all the mannerisms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I won't even, and don't get it wrong, I won't take away from your talent, but you like, you got talent, but that's blackface.
Yeah.
And our community gotta like be like, come on, even our own. It's like, come on, my nigga, you can't be keeping the propaganda up. We know this exists in our communities, but like you got to talk about other things.
Right. The people who do that.
Like, bro, I don't like. I was having a conversation last night. Like, how many of the people own Bugattis that listen to the dude talking about Bugattis?
Yeah, right.
The percentage, you know what I'm saying?
Don't even listen to that.
Right.
The people who own the Bugattis, right?
You understand what I'm saying? So now, like, you painting shit that the average individual doesn't even go through. That's the problem. Like, that's the problem in the hip hop culture right now. Well, I ain't even gonna say the hip hop rap industry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they control the rap industry. They don't control the culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But in the industry, that's the problem. They want the next everybody else. Whoever's hot, they want the next that. So now you got like now they need another Dirt.
And at what cost? Because we see how Dirk's story ends. We see how King Von's story ends. Shit, we look how Suge's story ends. Look how R. Kelly's story ends. And shit, Cool C and Steady B and Mystical and look at all these dudes with dope opportunities who really messing it up. And this is the message that the young people get because they're looking at complex situations, but don't have a developed mind to process it properly, or even got intelligent people around them to say, nah, all of this is entertainment. That's just an image. Don't believe what you see. To your point, Gutter, criminality is not blackness. Most criminals are trying to get to the next level of the economic ladder. You do a little hustle here, you do a little hustle there, just to get by to get to the next level so that you don't have to hustle no more. these people got money and take their legit clean money and invest it in bullshit. I remember years ago, it was some football player. This one I knew everybody done lost their mind. It was some football player, young dude, got signed to a multi-million-dollar deal and went and caught bricks and got jammed up. Like, yo, if you already got M's, what do you need bricks for? Dudes I knew who was getting bricks was trying to get to the M so they could get legit businesses and get out of hustling. And this thing has got us so backwards that week after week, we keep seeing people do these dumb moves and taking penitentiary chances. Sis, what you want to add to that?
Nah, y'all both spitting jewels right now. I'm just sitting back in the cut. But it's true, like even like Gutter say, where I live at, it's considered the hood. But crime is only a minute part of that. Everybody is not in the criminality. It's just like, all right, my block, and you take another block on this street. That's $500 million in assets, right? In certain other neighborhoods, best stop. You know, a half a block is what? $500 million in assets. So, you know, what are you talking about? You know, they just pushing that little bit of propaganda, and unfortunately, folks attach things to it. But it's only for us. Because let's look at Bensonhurst in the 80s, the mid-80s. The mob was having shootings every day in their neighborhood. This is a fact. But they weren't considered the hood, though.
Right.
It was a killing almost every day in Bensonhurst in the
they
mid-80s.
were left and right.
Yeah. But that wasn't considered the hood, though.
From the Bensonhurst, Bay Ridge, that
Old
Red
Mill
Hook
Basin.
area, all that shit from the 70s on, and even in Bushwick, they was smoking the shit out of each other.
Yes. But nobody called that the hood, though. You see how it worked? You know what I mean? And a lot of their kids followed their parents' footsteps, involved in all kind of criminality. But you know, it's crazy how it works. But
this the thing is with because they just came into their whiteness, I think, in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Italians. Yeah, nah, for real.
Yeah.
They were white before that. You know what I'm saying? So they'll celebrate the people that entered into whiteness criminality, because that's how they entered into whiteness, through criminality. Think about the Irish. You know what I'm saying? They entered in their whiteness, the Polish, Albanians, all of them. They entered into their whiteness through violent means. Oh, we got to get them on our team, because if we keep shunning them, they gonna get with the niggas, and we really have a problem. That's what they did, bro. That's what they did, because you got to remember, all of those groups was in parallel neighborhoods to us.
Mm-hmm.
Because they weren't white yet.
Right.
They weren't white yet. So now you get designated this area. Yeah, you can be by the niggas, because all them areas at one time was fucked up areas.
Mm-hmm.
Until they built them up.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah,
them areas like you, they used to put them next to us. You ain't white. So now when them motherfuckers when they started their criminal enterprises and all of that, and start only dealing with each other ethnically, motherfuckers said, nah, we can't have that, because they're gonna get in cahoots with the other non-whites.
Yep. Yesterday we was driving down Chinatown. Now, you know, the Chinese mob got it set up where they people was not outside no more peddling counterfeit goods. Now they got the Africans out there doing it for them. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, you ain't gonna catch no Chinese people out there peddling nothing right now. They done worked it out where the Chinese mafia, and that's been going on for a while. When I used to work down there, oh yeah,
that's since the 80s.
They got it locked. But see, it's not called a hood though. You see what I'm saying? They don't call it a hood.
but we got to remember it was called the hood at one time. That's why it was called Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, that was the hood. This is where the non-whites live at. You know what I'm saying? But then once them motherfuckers became so financial sufficient, white people had to start dealing with them and fucking with them. And these motherfuckers, like they always do. We got to remember, you know, everybody fuck with us until they don't fuck with us.
Right.
Till they get till they get an upper hand. Everybody fuck with us till they get an upper hand, bro. This is in the history of the United States.
That's a fact.
Everybody fuck with us till they get an upper hand, and then it's always something else where they stop fucking with us.
Yeah.
California, the Mexicans and the blacks used to be tight. Wasn't the blacks?
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy. And that's why we got to, and you know, not to shift gears, that's why we got to change the mindset, because even with the whole FBA movement, what people don't understand is just what you're saying, Gutter. We done helped so many people along the way and always got the short end of the stick. We saying not no more. Not no more. Sister Keisha, I saw that video you posted of Brother Melrose in the bookstore in Harlem. Oh,
right,
man.
right.
You don't have that queued up, right? So we can show Gutter.
I could give me 10 seconds.
Yeah, Gutter. You got to watch this video because it's along the lines of what you're saying. Like, everybody use us till they don't need us, because it's a racist bookstore in Harlem. Like, I'll let Sister Keisha bring the book up. I'll let her bring the thing up. You know, the video. But there's some folks who got a bookstore in Harlem, and I think the video speaks for itself once she brings it up. You know. But shout out to everybody in the chat too. We definitely appreciate y'all participation and y'all input in here. You know, shout out to TE Network, Black T7, definitely our sister Aruba, sister Farnessa, sister Brooke, brother Seven Fitness, you know, the brother Great God. Yo, you know, I can't leave our brother in our comic relief New York who always got the jokes.
I still love you, New York. I still love you, my dear.
Shout out to everybody who rocking with us today.
Hold on, here we go.
In Harlem, because they don't offer solutions. Their solutions to fighting oppression is dead ends, just like what Eric Adams represents.
Well, what do you represent? Calling yourself being here in Harlem with Farrakhan and Jay-Z faces crossed out. We don't go to your communities doing that.
There's not a question of that.
Because nobody in your community is equivalent to a Jay-Z or a Farrakhan. And to throw Cardi B in there, that's a false equivalency. She should never be mentioned in the same sentence as Jay-Z or the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You people should... I hope it's not in bad faith and disingenuous, so you can attempt to say something.
The question is, what is going to be liberating for people?
For Black Americans, what's going to be liberating for Black Americans? We are separate from every group of people, not only on the planet, but in history. You can't throw us in with everyone else.
The question, though, is how to get liberation. And let me just
in order for us to get liberation, we need compensation known as reparations.
There isn't enough reparations to pay back the oppression.
Ma'am, there's enough money for Ukraine. There's enough money for Israel. There's enough money for climate change. There's enough money for illegals. There's enough money for NASA. No, don't tell me there's not enough money when you're printing billions and trillions of dollars for them. Don't come and tell us that you don't have the money, and don't demonize our Black heroes.
Getting back the suffering that Black people have faced. That's why.
Ma'am, reparations isn't about emotions. It's about a debt that's owed, okay? It's a debt that was owed. There was labor worked, and we just need our money. That's it. Don't worry about how we feel.
And then you'll be an oppressor.
No, that's a projection you have. That's you projecting, ma'am.
That's not. That's what Farrakhan is about.
No, ma'am, that's a projection, and that just proves that you guys aren't qualified to hang his face up with Jay-Z and demonize them. So yeah, let's leave that down. Let's leave that down. Let's leave that down. If you're gonna claim to be about black people here in Harlem, let's leave the.
People are the same, okay? Farrakhan
Yeah.
does not represent the interests of black
Yes,
people.
he does.
Period.
Yes, he does.
I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Is that what your aspirations are? You're welcome to have that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, ma'am. Yes, it is. And that in Harlem.
How she mix Farrakhan with Snoop Dogg?
Yeah. Nah, how she tell a black person what they supposed to get? Like how? Yeah, she said all black people ain't the same. It's like, what the fuck is you talking about?
Said get money so we could be oppressors. Like, wow, like,
Shout out to Melrose on that. We're gonna be pulling up on everybody. It's up for everybody.
My nigga, that was crazy.
And they in Harlem though.
Yeah, but she actually like that was your response. Like you don't know how racist you like. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a lot of white, especially white women. Oh my God. Like they don't really because somebody disagree with you. They not entitled to what I wouldn't, bro. If a motherfucker say, if a black man or woman says, I hate all white people, and he still need that check, I wouldn't like what that got to do with his like this ain't got nothing to do with emotions. We need that, like he said.
Right.
We need that back pay. Y'all stole wages from us, from our ancestors. So everybody from that bloodline,
land.
Yeah, you stole land after the fact.
Yeah. You think Tyler Perry just helped the black lady in the South keep her land because they was trying to steal it. And remember, that shit going on crazy here in Brooklyn.
Yep, D theft is going crazy out here right now.
They taking people shit left and right still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Yeah, Gutter, that was in Harlem. That was in Harlem. A bookstore in Harlem. And like you said, you can't equate Cardi B. Cardi B don't speak for black folks. But then she gonna say Farrakhan don't have black people interests. Like what? How do white people feel they qualified to say who speak for us and who don't?
And that's my point. Like, who are you? like you got nothing to do with this, lady.
But it's back to what you said, Gutter. People will align themselves with us until they get to where they want to be, and then they separate, get in proximity of whiteness, get there, and they be like, oh, I don't rock with them darkies. You know? And that's been unfortunately, historically, the truth of the matter. You know? But to be in his historical black community in Harlem, like everybody in the world knows Harlem is a black community. Gentrified or not, everybody in the world, fucking Moscow knows that Harlem is a black community.
Still Harlem. Y'all done gentrified it, but it's still Harlem.
Right, it's still Harlem.
Gentrify everything.
Right.
You know that lady, when she said, then you're gonna be the oppressor. And that's their biggest fear. That's why Melrose said you just projecting. But if you ever watch that movie, White Man's Burden, that's the premise of the whole movie. Yeah. Check that movie out, White Man's Burden, with John Travolta and Harry Belafonte.
Yeah. But y'all, we down our last 5 minutes. What y'all want to leave the people with before we get up out of here?
Pooh Shiesty definitely get the Idiot of the Century award. And it's like I think they gotta share that one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all niggas got to be.
Yeah.
What you on? A dope dog food, huh? Like, y'all niggas is retarded.
That is a whole fact. That is a whole fact. Sis, what you want to leave the people with?
Man, use your brain out here. Make sure that brain is always ticking before you do anything. Use your brain. You know, yesterday we went to the Negro burial ground in Lower Manhattan. And on the wall, they have pictures of the remains of some of those folks that they found buried under 290 Broadway. Right outside of it are 6 different mounds where the actual remains are buried, 60 in each mound. But go look at those images before you think about doing something stupid. Go look at those images before you think about putting your family in harm's way. Go look at those images. See how most of those who were found in that area were children, 6 months, 3 months old, 1 month old, mostly children that were there who died from various diseases and abuse. Go look at the remains of people over there who are unknown, in particular Black men who are unknown as far as the age is concerned because they was worked to death. Go look at that before you do something stupid. And for that, those 2 persons who caused that baby to lose their life, I hope you catch nothing but rains of hell for the rest of your life. Now laying there.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to thank everybody for rocking out with us today. Our usual suspects. Hopefully people can walk away with a new perspective on what's going on in our community. Not just the rap industry, but it's definitely a reflection of what's going on in the media community. Like our sister said, you know, children were harmed because of people's recklessness, you know. And it's the mindset. I can't blame it on the age. I can't blame it because they're young. Because in the Pooh Shiesty situation, you have a grown man, an adult, a father, would take his child on a mission.
Shiesty a grown man. The fuck we talking about? Pooh Shiesty is a grown ass man.
But that's what I mean. Like, but he has a child mentality.
But this I'm saying is, yeah, let's not like, he's not a teenager.
Right. And I don't think these dudes was, I don't know, would them hit as teenagers?
No, I don't know if they would, but even if they do, like I'm just saying is like,
oh yeah. No, I'm not saying he a little dude, like a baby. I'm just talking about the youthful mindset that so many people are holding on to. Because more than Pooh Shiesty, I'm talking about his father, a grown ass man who's supposed to protect his child at all costs, not put him in harm's way. Yeah, supposed to let him know you taking penitentiary chances, son, and I will not be a part of this. But like any son, you feel you're protected when your father's there, no matter how dangerous the circumstances. I mean, like for boys who grew up with their father, it's just an inherent feeling of security you have when your father around, even if you're bigger and stronger than your dad. You just like to have him around.
I could have never pictured me telling my pops to let's go.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
To tell him I want to do something. Like, I know my pops will fuck me up.
Right.
That's one thing I knew up until his death, my nigga. My pops had hands. I don't like, maybe at the end I probably would have had a chance, but like I said, he know them art shit. That nigga would have fucked me up, my nigga.
Well,
so
he hit you with a secret weapon.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine me. You know what I'm saying? Like as an adult, I told my pops my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, he was like he kind of knew it. That's why he wouldn't teach me none of his shit, because he was like, you ain't got no discipline. You know what I'm saying? Bad temper, you always like, nah, you gonna. So that's one thing my pops knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So to the family, we definitely want to thank y'all for rocking out. Fathers, please be a real father to your child, not just a homie, not just a friend. Be a father. Give him proper guidance and direction, and let him know when he's making mistakes that could cost him his life. It's real important. So hopefully you're inspired by something you heard here today. It's y'all turn to go out and inspire others. We catch y'all next Sunday. And don't forget to check out Thorough Black Talk Worldview every Thursday on YouTube at 8 p.m. And follow Thorough Black Talk World News on all social media platforms. If you like what our sister K Fighter be spitting here, you just got to follow her on all platforms. Thorough Black Talk Worldview. Promise you won't be disappointed. So y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true. And remember, no matter how hard things seem right now, it's always better days ahead. Peace, family.